At some point, productivity starts to feel unnatural, not because it's difficult, but because it becomes quiet. No pressure, no stress, no constant effort. Things just get done. And that's exactly why it feels wrong, because most people are used to a different version of productivity, one that is built on urgency, anxiety, and force. When that disappears, the mind starts asking, am I doing enough? But real productivity doesn't feel intense, it feels stable. Most people believe productivity is about pushing harder, more discipline, more motivation, more control. But the brain doesn't operate well under constant force. It operates based on friction. Friction is the resistance between intention and action. The harder it is to start, the more energy the brain must use. And when energy cost increases, avoidance appears. This is why forcing yourself rarely works long term. The system is fighting itself. Insanely productive people don't rely on effort. They reduce friction. They make starting easier than delaying. And once something begins, momentum takes over. Starting is expensive, continuing is cheap. This is a fundamental property of how the brain works. Initiation requires decision-making, attention, and energy. But once an action begins, the brain shifts into a different mode. It follows the path already in motion. This is why people often struggle for hours to start something, and then suddenly work for 2 hours without noticing time. The difficulty was never the task, it was the start. Highly productive systems remove the need to decide to start. They create conditions where action is already in progress. Many people wait to feel motivated before they act, but motivation is not what creates action, it is what follows action. The brain releases dopamine when it detects progress, not before. This means motivation is a feedback signal. When you begin something, even slightly, the brain recognizes movement, and movement creates motivation. This is why productivity feels strange when it works properly. You don't feel ready, you just begin, and then the system catches up. Stress can create short bursts of productivity, deadlines, pressure, urgency, but these systems are unstable. They require constant external force. Calm systems are different. They remove urgency and replace it with structure, clear starting points, predictable flow, low resistance. When the system is calm, the brain does not need to defend itself. It can allocate energy directly to the task. This is why high-level productivity often feels slow, but the output is consistent. And consistency compounds. Working hard often feels productive, but feeling productive is not the same as being productive. Busyness creates the illusion of progress, switching tasks, checking things, reacting. These actions keep the brain active, but they don't always move anything forward. Real productivity is quieter. It focuses on fewer actions. But those actions actually change something. This is why it can feel wrong, because it doesn't match the familiar feeling of effort. Willpower is unstable. It fluctuates based on energy, mood, and environment. Systems do not. A system removes the need to decide repeatedly. It reduces variability. Instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? The system answers, this is what happens next. This creates predictability. And predictability reduces resistance. Over time, action becomes automatic, not forced. When productivity becomes stable, something disappears. Struggle. And for many people, struggle is what used to signal that they were working. Without that signal, the mind becomes uncertain. If it feels this easy, is it enough? But ease is not the opposite of effectiveness. It is the result of alignment. The system is no longer fighting itself. It is moving in one direction. Insane productivity is not loud. It is not intense. And it is not built on constant effort. It is built on reducing friction, removing unnecessary decisions, and allowing the brain to follow momentum. At first, it feels wrong because it does not feel like work. But over time, something becomes clear. The work is still happening, just without resistance. And when the resistance disappears, output increases naturally. Not because you are trying harder, but because nothing is slowing you down.